I'm just prying these pieces off with my knife. There we go. That's right there. Oh, that tea's good. Holy smokes. Hey, it's Greg here with Outdoors on the Cheap. I've hiked into the woods today with a mission of rescuing a broken canoe. We've had a lot of snow. Let me just show you where I am. I'm by a lake here, okay? I've had a lot of snow. It's about a foot of snow on the ground, so I snowshoed in. And it's kind of the amount of snow where those snowshoes kind of help and they also don't help. They help in the sense that you're breaking a trail. But it's not easy going because it's so fluffy and so much of the snow is just being held up by the underbrush and stuff. So the going today has been quite tough. Now by breaking the trail, I'll make it easy to walk in tomorrow or the next day whenever I can get out here again. Well, anyway, this is the lake. And this summer, I guess this past spring, I did a canoe trip. Just a one-day afternoon type thing, right? And I made a video of it. I caught some trout and stuff. On this lake. I crossed this lake and then I went to another lake beyond it. Anyway, way over there on the other side of this frozen lake, I don't know how frozen it is, there's a canoe, and it was my next door neighbor's canoe. But my next door neighbor sold his house and moved away and the canoe is still there. But the last time I looked at it, which was 2 years ago, it's an old heavy fiberglass canoe. There was a couple holes in it and it was unfloatable. And I found that out the hard way. I put it in the water and got in it and I noticed there was a fountain inside the canoe. So anyway, I decided today to try to find my way out here, find my way to that canoe and start. Since we got all this snow on the ground, it's the best way to move a canoe is over the snow. You know, over land. The best way to move a canoe over land is over snow because it slides so nice over the snow, especially if you've got a good crust on that snow and you got snowshoes and it's deep. It's the easiest way to get a canoe around. So, you know, I've hummed and hawed about dragging that canoe back to my house. I mean, that canoe is, I don't know what it is, 5 kilometers from the house, something like that. It's a good ways, and it's hard dragging canoes and you know, uphill and over hills and over rough terrain and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, I got the idea today of breaking a trail to the canoe, and you know, when I have time going out there, I don't know how long we're gonna have snow for, but it seems like we're gonna have at least a few weeks of snow. So working the canoe back, I go out, grab the canoe, drag it a little bit, and you know, that sort of thing. Then finally get it back to the house, and I can fiberglass the holes and fix it all up and repair it, and then, you know, either take it back out to that spot or put it somewhere else. Anyway, I'm in a couple kilometers right now. I've been in the woods for over an hour and my legs are done. They're shot. So I decided just to make a fire and have a lunch and do some stuff like that. And I'm not equipped for it. I normally have a folding saw with me. I didn't bring anything today. I just got a knife and, you know, really basic gear. But I'm so spent from breaking trail that I do need to get some food and some water into me and that sort of thing. So I thought I'd do that and make a little video of that. So let's get started here. A little spot here is kind of like a bench type thing. This is just some logs I threw together a number of years ago, balanced on other logs. And there's something resembling an old Siberian log fire here. But it's not even angled right, so I have a funny feeling someone else has been out here using this spot, which is fine, I don't care. Anyway, I managed to get some dead trees and stuff like that, just what I could scrounge around. So I'm gonna smash that up and see if I can get a fire going here. And I got a neat little rig set up for cooking my beans here. It's kind of like a portable folding pan. So I'll show you that in a second. All right, let me get set up here. We just got the classic dead tree. This is just outstanding in the wind. Everything's covered in snow, but this is out in the open, so it's reasonably dry. Sure, with a little cleverness and engineering or ingenuity, I can get some decent Fire starting stuff off of this. Trying to keep this stuff out of the snow. Because after all, snow is water, right? You got such nice dry stuff here. You're ashamed to get it all snowed up, right? I'll bring the camera up so you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just prying these pieces off with my knife, right? Once again, small knife. Don't need a big knife. Even in less than favorable conditions, you can get by just fine with gear like that. As long as you understand the materials you're working with and you're prepared. And you'll see as we go along here, I came prepared to make a fire so that it wouldn't be super difficult, because I knew there'd be, you know, just snow on everything, right? But any dead standing tree will do usually in that situation. You can get things going. Let me see if I can break this. Here we go. Nice break there. See here. You don't want to break. That's all right. Who cares? I don't know how well this is all going to work out, but I got a little thing of beans here wrapped in tin foil, and it's a little more windy than I'd like, and I don't have as much fire as I'd like. Everything's not the way I'd like. But I'll see what we can get going here. If it doesn't work, I'll just eat everything cold. Doesn't matter. Fire is not essential, just nice to have. Shoot, come on now. Hope you like that. Alright, so I don't know if I got enough fuel here to fully cook everything here. All I got is just beans and tin foil. Right, so as long as it's like this, it shouldn't spill out, and I got nice little handles to grab onto. Right, so it's like a one-off makeshift pot sort of thing, right? This is just a quickie, lazy, low energy fire, right? Not a fire that you're using to heat yourself up or save your life or whatever. Just a fire to make your lunch a little more pleasant, right? I got a thing here with some water, right? I can put that in as well. I need a stick to carry that. What do we got here? I'm lucky there's enough fuel here to heat this water, this tea bag. Just hold it over the fire like that. nothing fancy. I can hear the beans sizzling in the tin foil. Tin foil is getting hot. Just warming things up a little bit. I think too many people, you know, they take the idea of bushcraft and survival way too far. Right? And have the perfect fire, the perfect fire light, the perfect fire lay. Everything has to be just, you know, flawless execution. When, I mean, look what I just did, right? Smashed up a couple logs, you know, threw a little bit of the, you know, pried off some of the outer stuff with my knife, right? Now I'm not got a perfect setup with my water here. Okay, that's hot. I mean, that's warm enough. I think that's just going to keep that nearby. I think that's definitely warm enough. Now, as I continue to try to heat this, I just adjust the fire a little bit. Right, I got a couple little sticks and little bits of fuel. I see a lot of these things they try to sell on, you know, like almost like ads on Facebook group. These little, they look like fire, what'd you call it? Like it's like a tiny wood stove, or, yeah, like some sort of little wood stove type thing for people, I guess for people that don't know how to light fires. Right? None of that's really necessary if you know, just have some basic knowledge about lighting fires. And I don't even care if this tea water gets super hot, right? The main thing is that it's warm. It's gonna go in my belly. I'm gonna have some warm food. I got a couple pieces of bread. Got some warm food. I got some warm water, right? Give my muscles a little break from a hike out here. You know, I work out 4 days a week, and I do, you know, a heavy leg day both days, or 2 of those days are like lifting things, exercises. And the other 2 days, I'm doing stuff with my legs that's more stamina based. And I mean, it's all low weight, sort of high reps, stamina based. But even with all of that, you know, you think you're in good shape. Then you go try breaking trail with snowshoes, and you realize you're not in as good shape as you think you are. That water's not boiling yet, but it's pretty darn close. I'm reluctant to let go of the stick, just in the event that I lose that. That should be all right. How much heat is right here? Not quite enough. I want to keep my beans warm, but I don't want to burn the tin foil. You know, tin foil is kind of fireproof. You can put it on coals, but if you have it under direct flame, tin foil can burn and just disappear. So it's not perfect. And they have heavier tin foil you can buy, which is arguably better for this sort of thing. I didn't have any of that at home today. I can see the heat coming under there. It's good enough. Definitely good enough. I'm going to say that water's hot enough. I mean, this is not This is not river water. This is water I brought from home, so I don't have to bring it to a perfect boil. I just have to get it warm enough. So I'm going to say that's good enough. All right, time to eat. All right, that's cool enough to hold on to. Get it off that stick. Cool enough to hold on to, but still quite hot. Let me just see how warm that is. I think we need a little more snow. I'll take all the snow I can get. So I got a heck of a hike out. All right, that's probably good for that. I'm gonna set that down. Stoke my fire a little bit. And I didn't bring any sort of special camping implements. I just brought a spoon from the kitchen. You know, I'm always amazed at these things you can buy at survival store. The spork and all this kind of crap. Special this and special that. And sure, go for it if that's what floats your boat. But you know, for my money, you can go pretty low tech. See, I'm just sort of shaping this into a, you know, something resembling a bowl. Right, beans and wieners. Oh, it's hot and it's smoky. I got a little homemade bread. Right, it's just a bit of smoke right now. Afternoon out in the woods. Little quick lunch, little quick fire. Hot drink, hot food. Fire. Man. It doesn't have to be complicated. I'm sitting on my snowshoe. I just made a little fire from a rotten tree. A little tinfoil lunch. A couple pieces of bread. You know, tea bag. Low tech. Anyway, you know, my goal today was to make it all the way to that canoe. I probably got just enough in my legs to make it home. I mean, I'm 50 years old. These are things you just have to accept, I guess. I feel like if I was 10 years younger, maybe even 5 years younger, I really noticed a difference between my mid-40s and 50. And that's staying active and trying to stay in shape and doing a lot. But I really noticed a difference. Yeah, I mean, got to just understand your limitations, right? Even if I made it to that canoe today, could be frozen in place. Who knows what state it's in? Oh, that tea's good. Holy smokes. So, yeah. And I'll just settle for breaking trail today. Next time I come out, won't be nearly as hard to get here. And we'll have plenty left in the tank to go the next leg. And what I'm hoping is that I can go across the lake. And I think I got to bring an ice auger out here to test the lake, because I don't know what state it's in. I don't know how frozen it is. Right up until about a week or so ago, nothing was frozen. Today, the lake looks frozen, but it's covered in snow. If you know anything about lakes and snow, they don't freeze right when they're covered in snow. The snow, you got to remember the water in the lake's about 5 degrees Celsius, right? So basically the lake is not frozen. The top part's frozen, but then the snow holds the heat in. So the snow kind of makes there's always this, you'll have ice on a lake and you'll have snow, and there'll be this slush between the ice and the snow. And you just never know how much ice is actually underneath the snow. or if the ice is what they call rotten ice, where it's sort of slush snow, right? You just never know what you're dealing with. If you have multiple weeks of double-digit cold, you know, you can have a more confidence the lake's frozen. But the only way to really know is to make a hole. I've seen lots of videos of guys trying to use a hatchet. I'll even hear people at work know I'm sort of an outdoors guy. They'll say, I'll bring a hatchet out to make a hole. If you've ever tried to make a hole in a lake with a hatchet, it's not impossible, but it feels like it's impossible. It's not the way to go. The most effective way to make a hole in a lake, in ice, is with an ice auger. Barring that, if you've got a pole, and the pole has a flat bar that's sharpened at one end of metal, or something pointy, right? Basically, you've got a big pole with weight, and a piece of metal at the end that's either chiseled or pointed, and you pound with that, right? That's the best way to make a hole in the ice. An axe is almost useless, especially if the ice is really deep. Anyway, I think it's enough campfire talk. I'll finish up eating here and drink my tea while it's still hot. But just wanted to say one more thing. All the way out here, and this is the same territory where I do my rabbit snaring normally, and where I haven't seen any rabbit this year. Now, this snow came down on Friday. Had a wicked snowstorm Thursday night. It was all done by Friday morning. Everything was covered in snow. So this snow's been down for about 48 hours. I didn't see any rabbit tracks at all the way here. 1 hour hike. Nothing. No rabbit tracks at all. And I looked at all the places I normally look, where I normally snare. No rabbit tracks. So still nothing going on that front. So I mean, I remember in one of my videos I said I was going to go further afield and do some stuff like that. I just had a few I mean, I can only do this stuff on the weekends, and I had a few weekends where I just couldn't because I had family obligations, and then a couple other weekends where the weather wasn't right. And now we're here. It's March, and snaring, you can't snare rabbits now. The whole thing ends at the end of February here in Nova Scotia, in Canada, where I live, Nova Scotia, Canada. Every province has different rules. So that's it for this year. No rabbits. I shot one rabbit, it had tumors on its liver. I had to feed it to the coyotes, sort of thing. That's it. So just a little update on the rabbit situation. I went hunting with my uncle and my cousin, who are very experienced rabbit guys. We spent the better part of a day in the woods. Didn't see a fin, didn't see a track, didn't see sign, didn't see nothing. So, yeah, not too good a year for rabbits, at least in my experience, from what I've seen. But next year's another year, right? You never know what's going to happen. Anyway, I'm going to finish off all this. I hope you found it interesting. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, and until next time, enjoy the outdoors on the cheap. Thanks for watching.